curves are there in the regression. These relationship in forms using vertical lines and horizontal lines. Demand and supply is an interrelationship between the upward sloping and downward sloping curves. So upward sloping curve and downward sloping curves are intersection, just like demand and supply curves are concerned. So this is one of the basic aspect and through which this regression understanding will function. Now, curvilinear is another portion through which we can see the relationship between the variables, dependent and independent variables are concerned. Now, this is the another diagram which talks about other curvilinear relationships are concerned. So, curvilinear aspects are there, projectile aspects are there. We have seen the detailed aspect of these relationships in these. Let us go to the further diagrammatical studies where we have weak and strong correlation. So here we have moving towards upward sloping curve, demand curve is this, and then it talks about strong relationship, positive, and here supply side, strong relation is downward sloping curve. This is a weak relationship where most of the points are hovering around the imaginary line. These all lines are imaginary in nature between x and y planes. So this is what is the whole aspect with respect to the details uh, of things. Yes, Mr. Amit, I am okay. Whether it is statistics is basically immaterial of domain areas. Biostat also use statistical principles and see currently the situation. Everybody is becoming statistician overnight over a period of 120 days, and they started imitating, following, trending, and predicting about coronavirus trends. So Baba form or the pharma statistics or biostats in the pharma also follow same principle, and in pharmaceutical line also, in the pharma research also, we use lot of case study method. For unfortunately or unfortunately, I have not used a inbuilt data set of pharmaceuticals here. So don't you worry, just follow the simple rules which I am sharing with you, simple codification which I am sharing with you, and you can apply to any medical science data. So the plant size, remember I have shared one data on iris data set. In that iris data set, we have used the pharma example where we have seen the geographical length of flowers, which is four types of different species are being identified. If you want me to repeat the test, I will definitely take one test from the pharmaceutical line and explain it. There is no problem at all. Let's focus right now on the gist of relationship. Then we can take any data set, inbuilt data set here or from pharmaceuticals, and then it can help you to make you understand. Don't you worry, I will try to take one set from there. Let's understand the basic relationship between two variables. One is dependent, another one is independent variables. Dependent variable is y here, and this is population intercept, which is beta, and it talks about it's a constant, and the population slope is beta 1, and independent variable is x1. So y, maybe we can say y is a sales, and it is dependent on advertising budget or expenditure. So here it is a random error. You can remove this random error and see y is equal to a plus bx equation. So this is very basic equation of simple regression. So this is the slope, which is beta 1, and this is the straight line from moving from 0 to above towards right. So demand curve has been shown like this. So this is what is the regression relationship depicting in the simplified regression equation. So this is also y hat b naught plus b1 plus b1, and this is the detailed least square method has been shown with this equation, this is the data. You can say that in this, instead of housing pricing, you can say the cost of medicine and dosage of medicine. You see the relationship between them, and we can evolve the regression in that case. Let us go to the practical part. So can we see, go to the help and see, one of our participants wants something on pharmaceutical line, pharma data, anything on pharma. Let's see. Medical, let's see the medical. So you will have certain results. Pharma, you will not find it. So medical. So medical. So there are n number of data sets related to medical is concerned. You can just pick and choose of your own color and requirement. So you can, I have not worked on any of the medical data, unfortunately, but if you want me to do it, I will definitely try my hands on in the live class. Don't you worry, if something goes wrong, it's your call. So let me take this medical unit aspect. So what is there in the data? We can see the convert medical measurement between international standards and US units. Vector values are there, names are there, targets are there, logics are there. Detailed medical laboratories and practitioners in United States use one set of unit called conventional units for reporting the results of clinical laboratory measurement. It is one of the interesting kind of the case study seems to be the international standardized units, and often becomes necessary to translate between both. And look at the detailed aspect. It has been evolved by George R. Warner's way back in his study of medical data. So here is the details. You can attach the data, you can see the glucometers and arbine relationship here, show the variable convergence. So if you want me to attach the data, and we can do so before other things can happen. So we will call the data called MEDI units, MED units. So here is the MED units, not found. So you can say attach data, data is equal to MED units. So error is there. Data is equal to iris. This is the data. You can call it likewise. Similarly, why don't this data has been come? So let it be MED unit. So it is some showing data warning. Let us call this data. So here is the data. So you will find this data, and it has got in front of you speed and distance. So something else has come. Sorry to say that this data has not come. Let me take the data unit from here. Here is the data. Data has been not found. So no data is there of this nature. So let us take the data of some other database. Here something on other aspects, we can put the codes, no doubt about it. Let me try it. MED units. Let me try the data. Data is giving a still warning. I'm not sure the data is visible or not. Let me call this data. Sometime it happens. So no data has been called of the nature. So currently medical data is not in our hand. Not to worry too much. We can get our datas otherwise also. Data calling from here, iris. Let me try iris. MED units. Let me try the new field. This is 5th day. Sometimes this happens in the machine that it won't work. No chance. So I think some issue is there with the data bringing. Mobile, due to rain, thunderstorm, I am unable to use the internet. Afraid. No problem, don't be get afraid. We will do that. So this is unfortunate part. The data is not there right now with respect to anything on this sequence of medical details. So can we have a data on medical apart from that? Let me call another data if it is possible. I think we can go with the another data. Let me check the description right now. This is one of the coma. Okay, you can treat names like positions, EDA, weight decay. I think right now I don't have the data, or in the data set also of your choice data is not there. Sometime bring the data to showcase it. Your choices we can adjust sometime, sometime we may not. So let's take a simple data set, empty cars, and do the regression between detailed aspect of speed and its car. So here is the regression results in front of your screen. Now you can find it out, the regression formula, by calling LM formula distance. This is tilde speed comma data is equal to R. Residuals are minus 29.0, first quartile minus 9.5, median minus 2.2, and quartile 9.2, third, and maximize 43 coefficient. This is the constant which is in front of you, and this is the standard error. This is the t value. This is the uh, p value, and this is the speed, and this is the detailed aspect. So y is equal to x expression is already shown you. This is the detailed aspect of if this error shows, what to do. Large figure error. So increase the space of your your set here. Graphical analysis, you will get the results. Now you can able to plot it here. So you try it and you can plot the details. So we will do the zoom to see it. So here is the residuals are plotted, Q norms are plotted, scale location fitted aspect is plotted. So all the Cook's distance formula is also plotted. So these are the things which are being auto plot. We will try to see the auto plot impact. So there might be some error in this. So we will leave this auto plot. So now this simple regression is done based upon anything. So if you want to ask any question right now, we will do it. The participant side in this point of time, no problem. Let us go to the uh, let us go now to the details of simple regression. So simple regression is done, multiple regression we will go. So this is the example of simple regression, and we have seen the aspects of this. Now in the multiple regression, only difference is instead of two variable, it is a interplay of more than one variable. So dependent variable will be not only driven by the independent variable one, it can be 2, 3, 4. So sales is not only driven by that is called dependent variable by sales budget or advertising budget, but also by selling effects, selling efforts also. So sales, we assumed a dependent variable, and in this dependent variable is dependent upon, say, multiple independent variables. So uh, independent variables can be, say, advertising plus sales plus quality plus after sales service. So these are the things which are which can derive our multiple regression. So it equation can be y is equal to a plus b x1 plus c x2 plus d x3 so and so forth z x n. So this is one equation which we can visualize of our data set is concerned. Let's go back to our the core of action, which is R here. Let me see what can be done with respect to this. Now, what we can see here, we are trying to discuss the detailed aspect here of multiple regression. Now, same data set I am using it. I have shown you various aspects. I think our participants must able to understand it. Let us go to multiple regression portion. So this is MGP underscore multiple regression model score. Sorry, LM, MGP, tilde, HP, AM, and MT cards. So this is the first. This is the summary of multiple regression which I have brought to your notice. This is ILM formula. This is residuals minus 4.3. First quartile. This is the medium. This is the second quartile. Now let's go to the little bit more details of this, where we talked about multiple regression and certain agendas of details. Okay. So this is the impact, which talks about intercept. This is the estimated value, intercept 26.5. Standard error is this, t value is this. This is the HP minus 0.05, AM is 0.5. So these are the values of equation which we have brought it in. So you can put the value into the equation. If you want me to do it, I can show it to you how the equation can be filled by using the detail. So you can fill it the data likewise. So if you can go to the my slide where we are putting the data. Here we are. So if you see, we can say that here y is equal to a, which is intercept, which is minus 0.05 plus, this is the first variable here, where you can put minus, detailed minus of this. So you can see we can bring the data analysis from here. So this is what I am talking about. This is housing price. This is the intercept. This is the multiply of this. So this is why this data has been making of sense, and based upon this sense, we are making multiple regression equation. So based upon this, we can create a value with respect to this. Are you getting it, I suppose? So this is the way in which adjusted R square value is more important in R, because it tells you the how the dependent variable uh, has been shown its trend based upon the independent variable. So 78%, which is best or the great so-called significant, most significant R square is this, means embedded variables can change the dependent variable to the position of 78.2%. So this is what is the whole aspect. So now let's create a visual library for this. So might be a calling ggplot is important. Then we can call this is the R adjusted values are being shown here. The broom model has been shown. So clearly see improved version of the data. 26.6 horsepower is this. This can be one aspect. So now let's check the interaction of model. This is internal model, regression, empty cars, and this is the value. You will find the intercept. This is the standard error. This is the t value. Here, all these variables are used to create equation of dependent variable can be driven by HP, weight, AM. So these variables can constitute in the system to make and drive up to 88% here, which is R square value is here, which is improved version right now, 0.88. Multiply by 100 comes out to be 84.48, and which brings the change in the dependent variable, which is basically combination of HP, WT, AM. And this brings the system to change in this direction. So this is what is the aspect of simplified version of multiple regression. So house is open for any discussion on multiple regression, as well as on correlation is concerned, simple correlation, and